Hello, welcome to Lord Havoc's Marvel Champions Custom Content Stream Extravaganza. This is wasn't a planned stream, it was a very impromptu. I am about to test for the very first time my brand new scenario. I'm currently working on my Buffy the Vampire Slayer campaign. I finished the scenarios the other day, and I've been working on, how to make it into a campaign and be fun. Sort of correct the mistakes I made in my last campaign. I made Hydra Unleashed, and the way the scenarios work, the branching way the scenarios work, is, dare I say, brilliant. It's my favourite part. But the campaign aspect of it, campaign cards and stuff, were not great. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great. It wasn't fun. Kind of meh. So I want to try and do something better than that. So while I was doing that, I was watching some YouTube videos and stuff, and I just let it run in the background. And an old video that I'd watched years ago popped up, and I was intrigued. It was a playthrough of a quest, a Lord of the Rings LCG quest. And I used to be really big into the Lord of the Rings LCG. I did a whole bunch of customs for it, and I was in the community, and just really big into that sort of stuff. And it just suddenly, while that video was playing, I just had this inspiration for a scenario. I was like, I could make this work. I've got an idea. Let's see if I can translate this quest into a Marvel Champions and make it an actual fun scenario for Marvel Champions, right? And I've got an idea for what the theme would be and all sorts of stuff. It just struck me, and I've been working on it furiously for the last couple of days. So here it is, brand new, never even been play tested. It could be completely broken. I have no idea. We'll see how it goes. I just thought that'd be fun to stream it. So here we go. So the idea is Breakout. So Breakout is the first story of the New Avengers, the brand new Avengers comic that came out after Disassembled. It's the first 4 issues or so, and deals with Electro breaking into the Raft to get one of the prisoners out. So he's hired to go break out one of the prisoners. And while he's doing that, he decides to break out everybody in order to try and cover his actions a bit, so that the heroes that inevitably are going to arrive don't mess with him specifically. They're too busy dealing with the other prisoners. Which is actually pretty smart for Electro, shockingly. No pun intended. So I thought this worked perfectly, because the Lord of the Rings quest that I've translated is called To Catch an Orc. Excuse me. It's a bit of a notorious one. It's quite hard, the original Lord of the Rings one. It's really quite difficult. You need a very specifically tuned deck to do it. I've never been that big of a fan, but it works out quite well for the theme for this. And I've tried to temper it a bit in terms of its hardness, but not too much. I don't want to mess with the formula too much, because that's when you break stuff, right? If it's already been released and is good to go, then probably best not to mess with it, right? So I've translated as best I can. Now, it does have a little bit of a different setup. It has quite a significant setup, and that's because Lord of the Rings setup is slightly different to Marvel Champions setup. So you need to do to do this, we need to do it in a slightly different order. So I need to be specific about that. Jackson's jumped on at game night. I'll check out the vid later, but have a good stream, bud. Thanks, man. I thought of you, but I realised you'd be at D&D, so I might hip you up later on to give this a go. That'd be cool, dude. So yeah, enjoy your D&D, dude. So it needs quite a lot of setup. Quite a bit a different amount of setup. So it specifically says here, perform setup steps 14 to 16, which is player setup. So that's 14 to 16 is when you draw your hand and mulligan your cards. Before steps 10 to 13, which is when you set up the encounter deck. Cool? So you put the villain into play, you put the scheme into play, and then you follow whatever instructions are on the scheme. But you have to do it differently because I'm about to screw with my player deck. And if you do that before you get a chance to do like your mulligan and stuff, it'd just be really quite brutal. Right? It also especially means that you won't be able to do your setup. So a hero like Captain A, for example, would be in a bit of strife because you wouldn't be able to do his ability to go find the shield. So things like that, right? So you need to do that beforehand. And then you do various other stuff. So let's do that. Let's do the player setup stuff. So I'm playing Spidey Justice. I was going to play Spidey Leadership, but for some reason I couldn't get it to work properly. Like the cards are corrupt or something, or it was very strange. Like I was getting that floaty card business going on. It was very odd. So I'm playing the Justice deck. So let's get some cards. Alright, considering I know what's about to happen, getting the ingenuity in the first hand is pretty impressive. I don't necessarily need Miles. Multitasking is pretty handy. I don't necessarily need the web kicks. Funnily enough, I don't... well, it wouldn't hurt to have them. You know, strangely, this is actually not bad. Although it means I can't afford Miles. So I don't necessarily need Miles. I don't necessarily need this one. So I think I'll stick with this. Mulligan 2. Okay, well I definitely don't need Wiccan. Screw that guy. I've got to stop putting that guy on my deck. Seriously. He's just a pain in the butt. Yeah, alright, well... There's my hand. So there's my mulligan. So now we do this bit. Perform steps 14, 16, player setup. He doesn't have any setup stuff, so I don't have to worry about that. Before steps 10 to 13. So now we do 10 to 13, which is we put Electro into play. Oh, I've forgotten to grab standard. How dumb. Just realized. Alright. So you put Electro into play. And his abilities are 1, 0. Do not give Electro a boost card when he attacks. Forcing draw. When Electro attacks you, he gets +1 attack for each energy resource icon on cards in your hand. If there are no energy resources in your hand, give him 1 boost card. So simple as that. Breakout at the raft. A mysterious employer hires Electro to infiltrate the raft and free a specific prisoner. Inside the raft, he materializes in a burst of electricity and triggers a mass breakout to cover his search for his target. Contents: Electro 1, 2, 2, 3, Breakout, Standard, and a modular set called Raft Prisoners. So they're all in there. Set up C insert. Let me go to stage 1B. Starts on 1. Forced interrupt. When the scheme would be completed if the target minion is not in play, instead do each of the following. So we'll get to that in a second. Place 1 overwhelmed counter here. Oh no, I shouldn't say here. It should be on here. So I'll have to fix that. Otherwise, proceed to main scheme 2A. So let's continue the setup from over here. So each player removes the top 20 cards of their deck and places them in their play area near their player deck. Cool. So the top 20 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. It's actually meant to be 19, not 20. Yeah, it's meant to be 19. Alright, so we've got 19. This is their search deck. Each player then draws a card from the set-aside blue-backed minions pile and shuffles it into their search deck without looking at the card. Cool, so here's the blue-backed minions pile. Take the top card. Wait a minute. Just realised that. Oh no, that's fine. Yeah. Cool. Alright, and then that just stays. I should specify that stays set aside. When a card is discarded from the search deck is placed in that player's discard pile, then each player searches the encounter deck for a location side scheme and reveals it. Shuffle the encounter deck. Cool. So there's the 20 card search deck. This is what's left of my deck. And we need to go find a side scheme. Alright, so here are the options. Don't know why all the cards are all messed up. So there's 4 to choose from, so I don't know why I've grabbed so many. Oh, what is this? How did I grab him? Okay, so... Oh, what's going on here? Basement. Basement. I'll grab basement twice. Let's do that again. Okay, so work. Oh, I already got work area. Basement. Roof. What is going on here? How strange. Very strange. All right, here's the 4 choices. You've got rec area, basement, cell level, and roof. They're all got location as a trait. I get to reveal one of these and put it into play. The best option are the ones that let you do search. So there's 2 new keywords. Overwhelmed and search X. So overwhelmed is the counters that are on here. On right at the raft, the environment. And they essentially work as a timer. So as they get reduced, something triggers, and then if that condition is no longer in play, then you need to actually then put more counters on there, and that is trying to find the target. So you have to find the minion that Electro is trying to find before Electro does. And if you don't, then he has a chance to escape, and you don't want that, right? So being able to search, and search means that you search X means search 5, it means I grab the top 5 cards from my deck, I put a minion from those 5 into play, if there is one, I select 1 to go into my hand, and the rest just get discarded. So it means you get to put your cards back into play so you can actually use them, right? So now one of these locations also says at the beginning of the villain phase, each player discards the top card of the search deck. Put each enemy discard the card of play, engage them, player discards them. So this also discards cards from your search deck, and it's on a more regular basis, but it has a hazard icon. So do you want to keep it in play and just deal with the hazard? That's up to you. And then there's basement, which just does various other stuff. It's actually pretty nasty. While basement is in play, threat cannot be removed from other side schemes in play. So we definitely don't want that. I don't want to deal with a hazard right this very second, so I don't want either of those. So I want one of these, so I can basically get it out of the way. And I think I might actually grab cell level, because it's when revealed won't trigger. Place 1 through on each other side scheme in play. So I can just ignore that. So I think this is the best option. So it comes in with 4. The right starts with 2. And I think we're good to go. Okay, so back to Peter. Let's do these two. To do ingenuity. No. Let's keep Wiccan. Use Peter's resource and Spider Chaser to do ingenuity. Let's flip to Spidey. And multitasking to do two from two different ones. So 1, 2. Swinging web kick and ingenuity will give me Wiccan. Wiccan will take 1 and do 2 to Electro. And then Peter will take the last 1. So, boom. When defeated, after cell level leaves play, each player performs search 5. So I get to search 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are no enemies, so I don't need to worry about that. I get to keep 1 and put it in my hand and get rid of the others. So I'll be keeping Black Cat and get rid of the others. Ready, get some cards. Oh, I forgot to tell you what Overwhelmed does. At the end of each refresh phase, remove 1 overwhelmed counter. Cool. So that was the refresh phase. So boom. It should probably say at the end of each player phase. Really. But no. Yeah. So there's my hand. Villain goes up by 1. Electro attacks. And he says, don't give me a boost card. He says, I get +1 for each energy resource in your hand, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's each energy resource icon, not each any card. So he's attacking for 4, which is pretty brutal, but I get a free card. It's not backflip. And it's not an energy, thank God. So I'm still at 4. 4 is a lot. 4 is a significant amount. I'm going to defend. Take the 1. An encounter card. Vector. Is a criminal. When revealed, choose. Give yourself 1 face down encounter card or remove 1 overwhelmed counter from right at the raft. Now, if I choose to remove 1 counter, I don't want it. If the main scheme, when the last overwhelmed counter is removed from you, if the main scheme is at 1B, shuffle the encounter discard pile into the counter deck. And give each player 1 face down encounter card. So I'll get 1 anyway. If I choose option 1, if I choose option 2, option 1 I'll get 1 anyway. If I choose option 1, I'll get 1 anyway. So I think I'll just leave this as it is. And just take the face down encounter card. Okay, my turn. Energy will give me Ironheart, gives me a card. Strength will give me Black Cat. Ironheart will... Actually, first, let's Wiccan. For 1. 1, 2, 3. Vector dies. Oh, he's knocked out. Wherever you want to do it. And then for Justice, clear the area, and Ingenuity will pay for a kick into the face. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Refresh. Get some cards. Okay. Oh, remove and overwhelmed. After the last, if the main scheme is on 1B, shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. And give each player one face down encounter card. Place 2 worm counters here. If the main scheme is on 2B, find the target menu, blah blah blah. It's not on 2B, so that's fine. Although I just thought of something. It never will be on 2B. Oh, no. If the target menu is not in play. But it's find the target menu and put it into play. Wait. That doesn't work. Something's gone horribly wrong. The idea is that you are meant to, if you don't have the target in here, because it's a 1 in 4 chance, right? So if you don't have it, you need to trigger the find option. Find the target in order to go get him. But that will never happen. This is broken. I'm going to play through and see if he's in there. And if he's not, if the minion that's in here is not him, I'm then just going to trigger the find option and just go from there. And then I'm going to have to go back and fix that because that doesn't work. There's no way to go to 2B. I don't know what I've done wrong there. I'd say it's just one word that's wrong. There's one word somewhere that's wrong. Alright, so what did I just do? Oh, I triggered that at the end of the turn. Alright, so villain. He doesn't get a boost card. He hits for 1, 2. Because he's attacking me, I get a free card. It's not an energy, thank God. So he's attacking for 2. A block with... Ironheart. She dies. I get an encounter card. Alright, so 3 encounter cards. Encounter card number 1 is Hostile Ground. When revealed, in player order, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a location side scheme and puts it into play. If the total threat on the main scheme is higher than the total thwart of all friendly characters in play, each criminal minion engaged with a player makes an immediate attack. So that's one as well. It should be the total thwart of all friendly characters you control. Yeah, it's meant to be you control. So I'll fix that. I need to make a note. Hostile ground. All friendly you control. Okay. Alright, so let's go find a side scheme, and I think we all know that it's going to be cell level, because there's no other side schemes in play, so don't care. Does it say reveal it? Oh, it just says puts it into play, so it wouldn't trigger that anyway. Oh, anyway, doesn't matter. Shuffle and put the thread on there when reveal, blah blah blah. Alright, so then if the total threat on the main scheme is higher than the total thwart, so it's 1, and it's definitely not 1, 2, 3, so don't care. Get rid of that. Next one is Mandrill. Mandrill gets +1 attack for each location side scheme in play. It's pretty brutal. He's going for 2. And Hero Hunting. When revealed, deal each criminal enemy in play a face down boost card. Oof. Groovy. Hero Hunting. If there are no criminal minions in play, Hero Hunting gets it. Alright, cool. Alright, my turn. Uh... There are options here. There are options. I'm going to, one way or another, go find a side scheme. I'm going to grab roof just for a bit of variety. I could technically grab cell level because they're not unique, but just for a bit of variety, I'll grab roof. Comes in with 3 when revealed. Each player discards a card, and if it's a criminal, I put it into play. It's not. It's Shadows of the Past. Thank you. See you later. Kami's on chat. He says, is giving them a boost card enough to get them to actually use it? Or do they still need Villainous? That is a good question. That is a good question. I don't want them to have Villainous. Minions should only get a boost card if they get the... Jeez, you know what? I actually don't know. I don't know if that's... Yeah. It might be something I might need to put on the thing. May use the boost regardless of not having Villainous. Treat I might say, so treat any minion with a face down boost card as if they have Villainous. Maybe? Well, then that would trick another face down card though, wouldn't it? As soon as you treat them as Villainous, as soon as it goes to their turn, they would then get another card. They'd have 2. Treat any minion with a face down boost card as if they have Villainous, but do not give them a boost card when they activate. That's a lot of that's a lot of bullshit. It's a lot of bullshit just to say they need to be able to use this boost card. That's a lot of words. You know what? I actually don't know. Anyway, one way or another, so I get 3 cards. Oh, now I'm going to do something that I actually didn't know you could do this, but I've been informed that you're allowed to do that. There was only 2 cards left, and if you don't have enough to do what it says, you need to then shuffle and do it. Now, I didn't know that was the case. I was under the impression that if you go to draw cards and you don't have the cards to draw, then you just don't draw any more cards. But apparently that's wrong. So I mean, it's good. It's good for me that it's wrong, but I don't necessarily agree. Okay, so it doesn't specifically say, but the rules as written imply that it would still resolve. Okay. I'm going to leave it as it is then for now. But thank you for that. I appreciate you pointing that out. That is very good. And these are the sort of questions that we get with customs because we're breaking the rules essentially. So. Yeah. So I won't add Villainous, and if somebody complains, we'll have to have a conversation about it, I guess. Alright, anyway, here's my cards. What do I want to do? Kill this guy before he slaps the crap out of me, because he's currently going to hit me for 3 plus a Villainous card. Plus if I get rid of one of these bad boys, I get some cards back. I get to do search. So clearly want to do it for justice. I have power in all of us, but it can't really do all that much. So I'm going to Overwatch. Now, I always get this wrong. I don't know if Overwatch is meant to go on the one that you want to do. When any amount of threat is removed from attached game by a thwart. Okay. Discard this card, remove an equal amount. Okay, so I put it on here. I remove it from here. I also get it off there. From a different scheme. Okay, cool. Alright, sweet. I'm going to Overwatch. Then I'm going to enhance Spider Sense and Power in All of Us to pay for Justice, which means it now does 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I get to do it from a different scheme. 1, 2, 3. So these both trigger, and they both do search 5. So I'm going to do it. So that's worked out pretty well for me. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, bloody hell. So I don't get a criminal, and I get to keep one of the cards. I'm going to Genius and get rid of the rest. The irony of using the raft in this scenario is pretty funny. Thank you, mate. I think that's pretty cool. Alright, and then the other one does search 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. No criminal again, which is a shame. I think I need some resources. I'm probably going to live to regret that, but anyway, get rid of those ones. Okay, so and yeah, I'm gonna raft. I mean, it's ridiculous. It breaks the scenario, but I'm gonna do it. I don't care. There's no card called the raft in play, so I can do it. Let's put the raft in. Let's use ingenuity to get some web shooters in. Let's use the web shooters to get web tracer on this guy. Although, I don't really need it. There's only one. Actually, you know what? No. Instead, let's kick him in the face. 1, 2, 3. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Straight to the face, as he deserved. Wiccan will get rid of this last threat and do 2. And then Black Hat will take him out. Boom! Screw you and your boost card. Wiccan dies. If you're making a scenario insert anyway, it wouldn't hurt to at least include it as a clarification or the Q&A section. Yeah, I do have an insert, so I think I will put it in a Q&A section. This should be sufficient. The irony of using the raft in the scenario is pretty funny. No, Aunt May, fridged already. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't want to do it. I feel bad every time it happens, but oh well. And then boom, I'm going to lock into stage 2. Oh, I've just realized another mistake. He should have a line saying he can't be defeated. He can't be defeated unless the prisoner is attached to him. Damn. Damn it. That's a lot of text. Maybe I put it on here? Where would that go? Anyway, we're going to have to play it as is. He can't be defeated. You cannot win unless the prisoner is attached to him. No, that doesn't work. I have stuffed this up. Because I can just kick the crap out of him and win the game, and then it just defeats the whole purpose. Is that... Although, what's wrong with that, right? What have I done? What have I done? How do I fix this? Oh, jeez. Let's give him his hit points. 26. Give him when revealed, find attachment thingy and reveal it. No, I can't do that. That defeats the whole purpose of this business. Yeah, no, it doesn't work. Sorry, bud. It's a good idea, but it circumvents a whole bunch of other things. I might just get rid of this. It is could possibly be out of play. Yeah, I mean it could be in here, or it could be in here. What he needs to find. Oh man, this really sucks. Okay, let's see what happens. I'm gonna reset, get some cards. Lose a counter. I'm not sure I understand what you mean, Kami, sorry. Lose a counter, get clean on here. I need to reduce the amount of threat on here. He attacks the amount of energy 1. I'll just take it. Get an encounter card. Oh, that's unfortunate. I'll lose the raft. Who cares? Yeah, sorry, but I appreciate the assistance, but I'm not quite grasping what you're saying. Sorry. I'm sure it's brilliant. I mean, you know your stuff, but I'm just not getting it. All right, my turn. I feel really deflated now. One way for another is essentially broken this. I mean, it was already broken to begin with, but. Shuffle and draw 3 cards. Oh, jeez. I'm just going to beat the crap out of him now. 2 for justice. Clear this. Search 5. There you go. There's the guy it's not the guy I need, but it's one of the baddies. I get to pick one of these, and endurance. Discard the rest. I now have my deck back, but who cares? I've lost all interest now. Oh, he quick strikes me for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bloody hell. All good, dude. Just don't want you to be bummed. It won't be that hard to fix. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. If you're open to a call later, that'd be cool. I don't know what else to do now. I guess I just kick him in the face. 1, 2, 3. Hit him for 8, and then Black Cat smacks him. He goes in the victory display. Spidey hits for 2. Endurance. And I'm going to stay up. Oh, probably 1 extra card. Cheating. One goes on here. Electro attacks for 1/2. 1/2. Oh, I get a card. Alright, 1/2. I will defend. Get an encounter card. It's a side scheme. 1, 2, 3. At the beginning of the villain phase, each player discards cool. So essentially just a hazard now. Yeah, okay, now just let me know when you're ready. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. My turn. I mean, this is... Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to Ironheart. Get a card. Energy to get rid of this. Strength and multitasking to put in Miles. Miles will attack for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ironheart will take off 1 threat. Black Cat will hit for 1. Ready. Get cards. The end of the player phase, lose from here. We don't have the target minion. Which I, of course, can never get. It needs to say something like, if you have already revealed... I'm just going to go find him. Otherwise, I'm just going to be here forever, and now I'm annoyed. Alright, there he is. Sauron. It's the target. It's the target trait. He's the one that I have to get. 12 hit points. Cannot have attachments. 2/4. After Sauron is defeated, the first player exhausts a character they control and attaches Sauron to them. Sauron gains the text, attached character cannot ready. If the attached character leaves play, the players lose the game. Which is pretty full on. Give each player a face down encounter card. Place 2 cards here. Yeah, this... I've broken this somehow. This just does not work. I don't know what I've done. If I missed a line of text or something. Electro attacks. I get a free card. I have no energy, so therefore he gets a boost card. I will defend. He hits for 3, which I defend, plus a boost. This attack defeats a character that doesn't, so I don't care. Sauron then attacks for 4. I'll block with Ironheart, who dies. Get an encounter card. Electric Blast. When revealed, deal 1 damage to each exhausted character. Peter. I could have stopped that from happening. I don't care. It's 1 damage. And then Griffin. After Griffin engages a player, that player must either take 3 indirect damage or remove 1 overwhelmed counter from right of the raft. I will remove the counter. Alright. What do we got left? 19 hit points. Can I win the game? Web shooters. We'll clear the area for 2. Give me a card. strength, and Moon Girl will pay for web kick. Do 8 to this doofus. Black Cat will hit him for 1 more. He's got 3 left. Miles will hit him for 2. 1 left. And I have nothing for justice for. So I'm just going to get rid of these. Actually, I'll keep this one, just in case. Just in case. Ready? Get some cards. It's the end of the play phase, so you lose 1 from here. Oh. No, I've done this wrong. I should go to 2B now. When revealed, put 2 over 1 counters on right. Bad number is 9. Threat cannot be removed from this scheme unless the target meaning is attached to a character. That's on 1. Okay. Baddie turn. 1. Electro attacks. I get a free card. It's not backflip. I have 1, 2 energy resources, so he's going to hit for 2. I will take it. Sauron hits me for 4. I'll defend. Take 1. Oh, I haven't calculated that very well. That okay. Miles takes the rest of it, otherwise I'm dead. Thank you, buddy. In that case, I'll make Miles take the 4 and I'll take the 3 from this guy. Counter card. Grey Gaga. Force Interact. When Grey Gaga attacks. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, my turn. I think it's pretty obvious that we're going to nick, Webbed Up, and Ingenuity to Nick Fury. Draw 3 or deal 4. I'll draw the 3. It's always the best option, right? Okay. Okay. How much threat have we got? 2. What does this say? When defeated? When a attached minion is defeated. But this says, after Sauron is defeated, first player exhausts a card and dashes Sauron to them. Yeah. So it still works. That's handy. I'm going to put that on there, and then Black Cat's going to knock him out. I'm then going to trigger this. Oh, wait. Oh, no! No! I'm going to put that on him instead. Anyway, Black Cat knocks him out. He becomes attached. To Black Cat. Attached character cannot ready. It's fine. It is what it is. It's not great, but it is what it is. He will then do 2 to Griffin. And then I guess I'll stay up. Yeah, I've got a backflip. Get rid of this one. Get rid of this one. Staying up. Don't be a pussy. Clear the area. Overwatch Aunt May. It's pretty handy. One goes on here. Oh. Oh no, I forgot this. One goes from here. And then electro attacks. 1 energy, so it hits me for 1. I'll take it. And oh well, I get a free card. Yeah, still hits me for 1. Then Griffin hits me. Oh wait, I didn't even use my backflip. I didn't need to, right? Yeah, I'm gonna use my backflip on Griffin, and then Grey Gargoyle's gonna take out Nick, who's gonna get Nick taken out anyways. There, it's fine. Let me get an encounter card. Yeah, just gonna cancel that. Overwatch. Cancel that one. My turn. Alright, I'm now attached. So, threat cannot be removed unless the target minion is attached. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, she doesn't need ready. So, let's do 2 to this guy. Trigger Spider Tracer. Takes the 3 off of that. Oh, I should have retaliated. He should have retaliated. I should be on 2. That's pretty brutal. That is pretty brutal. Clear the area is going to Aunt May. And then do I flip down? I've got a backflip. Do I flip down? Ugh. Should I flip down? I'm on 0. Yeah, flipping down. Bugger it. Aunt May will hit me for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ready. Oh, I feel weird. I feel weird that I flipped down. Oh, well, there you go. That's pretty good. Can't complain. 1 goes on here. He schemes for 1. Dumbass. Gargoyle schemes for 1. Get an encounter card. Oh no, I've got this. I should have had 2 encounter cards. Encounter card number 1. Jigsaw. After he engages, that player must either take 3 indirect damage or remove 1/1 counter from right at the raft. I'll take the 3. Overcharge. Discard your hand. Okay. Search your discard pile for X cards with an energy resource icon and add them to your hand, where X equals your hand size. You cannot voluntarily discard cards this player phase. I should say the next player phase. Should say the next player phase. Alright, my hand is in now, so I need to find 6 cards with energy icons. And I just realized, what if you don't have 6? What if you don't have 6? What do you do then? Which I don't. I've got 5. So what do? Do I just randomly grab another one? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess I just grab something else. So I have to write that in the FAQ. What else do I grab? Lionheart? Yeah. Wait, Ironheart or Nick? Who'd be better here? Who would be better here? Miles? Nick an option? Nick is an option. Yeah, I think Nick is obviously the option, right? Okay, so need to add to FAQ. What if you don't have the right amount? What if you don't have enough energy cards? Or overcharged? Cool. Okay. Is that it? Yeah, it's done. I cannot voluntarily get rid of cards now, so I'm going to energy for justice to pay for Nick. Nick's going to, instead of drawing the cards, do I even need to draw the cards? Wait, before I nick, I'm going to, for justice, to put web on him. Yeah. And then nick, and then I'm going to choose the death option and just kill Jigsaw. Triggers web tracer, 1, 2, 3. There's Nick out in play. Wait, I could have left one of my cards. I don't really need to, right? May will heal me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nick will do 2 to this guy. I'll flip up, and I'll do 2. So he's on 4. Oh, I keep forgetting she's not allowed already. Nick gets 1. I attacked. I have no cards, but I spent them all, so that's fine. So I'm not cheating. Ready. She doesn't ready. Get some cards. So now it's just as I basically just have to do 19 points of damage to win, right? Bummed. Lose that from there. Get an encounter card. So this is now just an encounter card generator. This is what's screwing me. This is broken. Okay. 1, he attacks. I have 1, so I'll just... Oh, I need to get a card. Okay, so it's still 1. I'll just take it. He attacks. Nick will block it. He's going to die anyway. Let me get another encounter card. Encounter card number 1 is Roof. 1, 2, 3. When revealed, each player discards 1 card from the encounter deck and puts each criminal discard this way engaged with them. Oh, no, it's not no, it's a treachery. What are you doing? Raft Breakout. When revealed, I do have a spider sense. I can stop it from happening. Discard cards from the encounter deck until a prisoner minion is discarded. Wait. There are no prisoner minions. Oh. Oh, yes there is. What am I talking about? Yes there is. It's the module. Modules, they're all called prisoners. Alright. I'm going to stop that from happening because I can't be bothered dealing with it. So, I'm going to raft to get rid of that. Stop that like Spidey does because he's the man. I'm going to Ingenuity and... Actually, I'll just Ingenuity just to spider chase it. Wait, does that say main scheme or a scheme? From a scheme. Okay. That's pretty handy. An Ingenuity, and then I'm just going to kill Grey Gaga with my spider traces. Get rid of this guy. Get rid of this. When defeated, after Riffley's play, each player performs search 5. Oh, I already got it. I've already got my deck, bro. Thanks anyway. Gets rid of that, which means I can use that and that to Wigan. 1 does 1. It's better than nothing. Ready, get a new hand. Deck out. Get an encounter card. Cool. 1. I just realised this scenario would be brutal against Wonder Man. Or Captain Marvel. Yeah. You don't want to play them if you're playing this. He attacks. I've got 1 energy in my hand, so I will take it. Oh, I've got my free card. I always forget my free card. It's not an energy, so that's fine. Then I get another one of these. So 2 of these. The villain attacks you. I can't cancel it, so the villain attacks you. He attacks me for 1. I'll just take it. And I'll get it for another free card. Oh, he hits me for another 2. Oh, man. Free card. 1, 2. You know what? 1, 2, 3. I'm going to defend. Wreck area. 1, 2, 3. At the beginning of the villain phase. Blah, 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 blah. Alright. My turn. Guess I'll just take him out. Oh, I keep forgetting. 1 off of here. He does 2. And then power in all of us. And energy will do swinging web kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'm going to web him up just for the lols. This is the final indignity. Take that, Electro, you asshole. I'm ready, except for Black Cat. I get some cards. 1 on here. He's webbed up, so he doesn't activate. He gets stunned. Sucked in. I get an encounter card per normal, and I get a second one because of the hazard icon that is in play. The first one is Basement. It's another side scheme. 4 + 1. While Basement is in play, threat cannot be removed from other side schemes. So it's pretty bad. And Vapor. Vapor's pretty nasty. After Vapor attacks and damages a character you control, discard a random card from your hand and take 1 indirect damage for each resource icon on that discarded card. She's pretty mean. She fights the Hulk, so she's not mucking around. Alright, but it doesn't really matter. Anyway, because I've won. 1, 2, 3, swinging web kick. Dead. And that's victory. Yeah, the embarrassment of this card. I don't know how to fix it without a ridiculous amount of text. Any other notes? Oh, those 2 cards need to be done. That's fine. That's very minor. That's very, very basic playtesting notes, so I'm happy. I'm okay with that. But yeah. Anyway. Cool. So anyway, that's playtest. Very first playtest of a brand new scenario. This is what happens. I wanted to sort of show a bit of, behind the curtain type deal. This is the deal, right? I intentionally wanted to play without playtesting at all, to sort of give you an idea. So everything goes from, different creators have different ways of doing how they do stuff, right? But the most common one seems to be create the spec document and then source the art and then make the cards. And that's generally how I sort of play it. And that's how I sort of do it as well. So this one was a little easier than most because it essentially is just a redesign of an existing product, right? The Lord of the Rings quest. So all I really had to do was translate the language. I've obviously stuffed it up somewhere. I don't know, because the main difference, right? To give you an idea, the reason why this is you have to sort of retranslate it is, even though they have a shared ancestry, They use very similar terminology and stuff. The setup of the quest is quite different because it doesn't have a villain. There's no set villain in Lord of the Rings. You have minions that come out, and one of them may be more important than others, but they're all relatively the same, right? Any minion is essentially they're all villains. The villain in Lord of the Rings is your threat level, because then that means Sauron gets to see you. So Sauron doesn't notice you until your threat goes to a certain height level, right? So it doesn't have a set villain, and it also you have 3 heroes instead of just the one, which I guess the translation here is for the allies. And you have a thing called the staging area. So the staging area is very easy to basically retranslate. That's fine. Staging area is easy. The whole put into play, reveal, that sort of stuff. It's all basically the same sort of thing. But the whole singular villain concept is quite strange, which is why I was so excited when I had the flash of inspiration for this one. I was like, oh, that's fine. That's easily sorted. I'll just make Electro the villain, right? So it's not an Electro scenario per se. There's only a couple of cards in the set that deal specifically with Electro and his abilities. There is a far better Electro scenario in the custom community. I can't remember who did it, but it's great. If I remember who it was, I'll link to it. But there's an Electro scenario that is just very cool. So it's not that. That's not what I'm trying to do here. But it works having him as the main villain because you need to have a main villain, otherwise the game doesn't work. So, and the whole 3 heroes versus 1 hero theory, that's easily settled as well. So I've obviously stuffed up somewhere in the translation of these counters, and I get it. I get why they're there, because they're meant to make it so thematically you're being overwhelmed by the amount of criminals, and you're just one dude, right? I'm just one Spidey. In the comic, Spidey gets his arm broken by Jigsaw because he just gets swarmed, and he's like, what the hell is this, right? Because he's tired because he just swam across to the island, and then he just gets swarmed, and then Jigsaw takes advantage and just breaks his arm. So that's very thematic, right? So you're getting overwhelmed and stuff, but the execution has obviously failed, because the whole idea of, well, failed is probably a strong word. The idea that you can just beat Electro up still works. It's still perfectly fine. It's the whole Riot versus 2A, 1A, 1B and 2B. It's the conversation between this. Not the conversation, sorry. The connection. That doesn't work. And I think it's fairly easily fixed. The fact that you can still beat the villain to win still makes sense. You can still beat up Thanos and still win without having to power gauntlet, right? Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a problem. The fact that you've got him is good. It means you've stopped Electro from getting him and running away, and then you just beat him up. Yeah. I don't think it's as broken as I first thought while I was playing. I think it still works. But is it actually entertaining? So I just need to fix the disconnect between these two, and I think we're good. So I'm going to call it there. I have no idea what time it is for you, Kami, but I will reach out, and if you're available, that'd be cool. It's always good to call to Kami. Kami is essentially like the leader of the community, so the chance to chat with him is always cool. And he's a cool dude, so if you got a chance to see any of Kami stuff, check him out. Especially if you like the Wildcats. He's going through the Wildcats at the moment, so that's pretty sweet. Yeah, I'm done. I'm going to call it there. I'm going to make some changes, and then I might jump on again later with somebody, Jackson probably, to play a game. Thanks everybody for watching. Appreciate it. As always, please make sure that you tell the people that you love them as often as you can. Thanks everybody. Bye.